8th grade social studies. There's a lot of overlapping. He's in front of a blackboard. There's a lot of interruption with students. I've stand in front near the blackboard. There's a lot of turning around towards the blackboard, turn taking with raising their hands or called upon. The room is big, but cluttered with a lot of desks, so determining where to stand would be hard at first. He uses eye contact to call upon some students to answer. It's a very interactive class where he asks students to answer.
So on this first video, it's kind of hard for me to understand.
The intercom interrupts the teacher while talking. There's a lot of overlapping with several students speaking at the same time, answering. His intonation gets a lot louder once he's trying to stress a point. He leaves the topic out and asks the students to answer with a question. He has visual. Visuals. He has visuals. He's identified each student by name. Well, not each student, but he classifies which student knows their skills with maps, and he just calls on that person.
Jason, I actually understand what he's saying, so I can actually interpret what he's saying.
The teacher relies a lot on the students to answer. So there's a lot of interaction taking place in the classroom. It's not like the teacher just lecturing, it's asking for feedback.
So he doesn't really have a good way to allow the a good way for like a student to question his hand.
Interpreting the map, you'd have to
And he keeps again
really know the map to be able to explain. Or you could just show that he's using a map and just tell where he's speaking about the topic Staten Island. The topics in the class are based off of events that have happened in history. And be familiar with that and be able to talk about it. But like I said earlier, the students answer more so than the teacher explaining.
I don't know these the signs for these places.
Absolutely feels comfortable with the church's English teacher because of his speed, pace, that his teaching style, that he has a key interpret.
It makes it easier just then because that lady raised her hand to say the Shetland Islands.
As an interpreter, you'd have to
And he's kind of
take apart yourself and from the situation when it talks about religion, government,
as he had been, so that's
and be open to
hard on me.
other opinions.
Focus on information that the teacher is presenting and be sure that the student understands, that students understand what's going on in the environment, the information that's being presented for feedback. Again, I would mention that and refer back to the Blackboard speaker.
The teacher paces back and forth a lot.
I can't hear what the students are shouting out right now.
There's a lot of listing going on in here, or in this video.
At this point, it would be hard to understand as a teacher. As a student,
As an interpreter, you have to choose what side to stand by the blackboard, which side.
students have called, I don't know, if I would have missed anything from what the
Couldn't
teacher
hear what
said.
he was saying.
The teacher is speaking.
Some students are hard to hear. They're mumbling under their breath when they answer. There's a lot of agreement at the same time. Several people speaking at the same time. Students and students and teacher and student.
Okay, we hear what was just said by the student.
There's a lot of soft-spoken people.
And he keeps looking at the board and talking at the board, and that's hard on me.
Familiarize yourself with the geographical areas and to understand structures, teaching you after the Industrial Revolution.
And this is actually stuff that I'm never,
At some point, you can't even see who's speaking. You just hear a voice.
that would make it, even harder to just come in and interpret. I would definitely have to, have the,
Crossing between Ireland
I'd have to have time to prepare.
He points a lot to students to answer.
was on in class, but he was talking, the teacher's talking, and he was talking to her selfless. She didn't know what he was
A lot of interactions. Side conversations going on in the back. If a student answers right, his intonation goes really high. He turns around and walks at the same time. Or turn around and walks and talks at the same time. Leaving it hard for the interpreter to hear. He walks towards the student when he wants them to answer.
Okay, getting into something that I actually know about, and that's true in Revelation, so I'd be able to do this without any time to prepare a little bit better than, having the time.
Personally, she don't know if that would conflict with our relationship.
There's some sarcasm given through the teacher and the student to answer.
This is a lot, this one would be a lot easier, to interpret.
There's students who speak when not called upon. It's a lot of overlapping. A lot of blurting out answers randomly from students.
Hard to hear the students.
It's a lot of pointing by the teacher. There's a side conversation between the teacher and the student's response in between the topic.
And even the terminology that was used earlier, he goes into detail later.
The teacher turns his back and walks towards the board, talking.